know.
Are we coming on?
Ads are playing.
Okay. How do you the orientation? What happens if I do that?
It doesn't do it well. Hold on a minute.
What? Are you sideways?
No. Now it's sideways. Look. The screen's still up and down, but
Gosh. Can y'all hear us talking? You should see comments down there.
where I go with those.
They'd be right there.
I hate that you can't rotate.
Yeah. How do you fix that, JP?
He said, yeah, they hear
Okay,
us.
y'all can hear us. That's a start. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What does that even mean? Okay.
Oh, you think you've never done this before?
Well, you'd think I hadn't. Sure don't look like it, does it? One way to skin this cat.
That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's not gonna work. There.
Are we fixed?
Yeah, okay, you don't have to go back the other way. It was fixed before.
If I do this?
Yeah, that fixes it.
That fixes it.
See, it fixed it. You want me to turn the camera for you?
No, I want them to look at. I want them to look at you.
I don't want it in there.
Oh, there, we'll snuggle up and pretend like we like each other.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, hey everybody. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. This is the first live stream that we've done that we had planned since we came to this farm for a couple reasons. Number one, our Century Stink internet. We're finally saved by Elon Musk. He sent us a Starlink probably about a month ago now. About a month ago, so we have some decent internet service that we think will work for this. So we're going to try to do a little more regular Sunday night live stream. So hope everybody's doing good. Appreciate you joining us. Again, it's the first live stream that we've done in a while since we've been here on the new farm, and I've got, on top of technical difficulties, I've got another lav mic that a battery corroded in. So Sandra and I are going to have to share a mic. You should turn the, I know, but it won't. When I turn it, it doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing. Problems with that. But anyway, so there were a couple of things that we wanted to, or that I wanted to talk about tonight, and just some stuff that's going on out in the world, and kind of update y'all on what's happening here at the farm, and what's happening here. Drop us a comment down below where you're from. Sandra's kind of watching those. Are you watching these?
Yeah.
Yeah, drop us a comment down below where you're from. Kate's in Connecticut, so we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Easy B from Oklahoma.
Got somebody from Oklahoma. Nice. Good deal. Anyway, so a couple things we want to talk about. First off, something that's really kind of prevalent in the news right now is this whole issue of the diesel shortage. And, you know, we've been thinking about that and how that could potentially affect us here. And, you know, depending on, I guess the news outlets that you consume and your different spins that are put on it. They're saying that we've got about a 20-day supply of diesel. I think that's probably a rolling 20-day supply. Christina Russ. Hey, Christina, thanks for joining us. We love y'all's channel. If y'all have not, I'll break and I'll come back to this. If y'all have not watched What the Rust, Christina and Richard, they do a phenomenal job. They go out and find old abandoned cars, or they buy cars that have been sitting for a long time and get them running. And it's amazing. We watch them and we're just like enthralled with it. We'll sit there for like an hour and 20 minutes, however long the videos run. It's fantastic to watch. So What the Rust, go check them out if you like old cars and that kind of thing. It's superb. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a great channel. We love it. But anyway, so the whole diesel thing, we've been kind of talking about and thinking about how would that affect us if the diesel supply basically ran dry. And I think North Carolina was in a code red.
Yes.
A few days ago or something. What was that deal? You read that story to me.
They're talking about North Carolina, Georgia, and then some more of the East Coast states running out of diesel in just the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So. And
we really, we're not like a big row crop farm that's running combines, and we're not a big hay farm that's running a lot of cutters and hay equipment and all that kind of stuff on a regular basis. But we do consume some diesel. We've got one side by side that's a Kawasaki Mule that's a diesel. We don't drive it as much as we do the gas one because it's got a cab on it. It's a little aggravating to get in and out of. But this winter, we think we'll probably drive it a little bit more. It's a diesel, so that's somewhere where we would be potentially using diesel. We've got the two farm tractors. We've got the New Holland and the Coyote. Both of those are diesel tractors. We don't use the tractors a lot, but when we need them, we need them. That New Holland has been invaluable for us this year in terms of managing feed. And one thing that I learned early on in farming, there's a key element to farming that is basically material handling. And when you're dealing with 2,000-pound sacks of feed at a time, you've got to have a piece of equipment that can move that around. So those two tractors are really, really important to us. So we've got to have diesel to run them. We also just bought the generator. Video came out a couple days ago. We put in a new diesel generator that is there to power the freezer, our big walk-in freezer, so that if we lost power, we're not going to lose all of our product. We get a bad snowstorm, and it's not unheard of for a snowstorm to come through here in the mountains of North Carolina, wipe out power for 4 or 5 days. Hurricanes, Hurricane Hugo, I know that's a long time ago, but Hurricane Hugo came through this area. The eye came through here. And you guys, I wasn't living down here. You guys were without power for what, like a week? Couple weeks.
My grandmother was out for a month.
Yeah. So, if we lost that freezer, it would be devastating to the farm because that's where all of our product is. And so just to hedge our bets, and also our insurance company required that we have some kind of backup power, we installed that generator, and it runs on diesel. Now, the nice thing about it is, according to Dale, the fellow that we bought it off of, it's very, very easy on diesel. As long as you don't have a real heavy load on it, it doesn't consume a whole lot of diesel. So, but again, and then I also forgot this. You can also run kerosene, use motor oil. You have to cut it with a little bit of gasoline, but it will run on other distillates and other fuels. So that's a little bit of a little safety measure there. And then finally, our pickup trucks. We've got 2 diesel trucks. We've got one that's in the shop right now. But we use those to deliver product, to take animals to the processor, to go pick up product whenever it's ready from the processor. And so that diesel truck is really important to us because that's a key part of our farm. So it's something to watch. I think if you're farming, it's something to be aware of. I don't think it's anything to be scared of, but I think that there's probably some opportunity there to maybe hedge your bets a little bit. Storage. The day that the generator came in, we had 100 gallons of off-road diesel delivered here to the farm in a storage tank that we've got out here in front of the shop. And so, that's huge to be able to have that insurance policy and have a little diesel stored back. Now, it's off-road diesel. It's not legal to run it in a pickup truck that you're driving on the road, but things get bad.
We could use it if we had to.
Fella's got to do what a fella's got to do. So, and if you don't have a big storage tank, I think this one that we've got out here is a 250-gallon tank. If you don't have a big storage tank, get you some of the 5-gallon cans and just put it back. You know, put it in your shop, put it in your basement, put it back in storage, and just have yourself a supply for hard times. I'd also recommend getting a little bit of Stay-Bil or something to go in it. Diesel's not like gasoline in that, especially this non-E stuff, in that it just kind of has an expiration date. It wears out. But it's still a good idea to put a little bit of stabilizer in there. So just something to think about. Jim P. asked, can the generator run on ammonia? I don't know. That's a good question. We can ask Dale about that. So where's everybody from?
Let's see. Here's Chris from Michigan. Jim P. from South Australia.
From the land down under. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you watching.
Tony from Auburn, Kentucky. Tim from south of St. Louis. McKinney, Texas. Ontario. Cape Cod. Maryland. Nashville. New Zealand. Mooresville. Arkansas. There's Miss JP. And there's Robert. Robert Vaughn from up on the mountain.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Robert. Y'all don't know, y'all. We done a video with Robert, and Robert comes down and helps us do chickens. He's one of our. He's a fantastic chicken processor. We helped Robert do some homestead chickens for his family. We done that a couple of months ago. He raised some Murray McMurray big red broilers, and as payment for helping him, he gave us one of those birds. We liked them so daggone good. We ordered 60 of them.
Yep.
We ordered 60 of them, and grew 60 of them out. Split them. We took 20. JW took 20, and Jamie Miles from over at Seven Stands took 20. So we liked those chickens that Robert had bought so good. We bought some.
Yeah. Let's see. Cleveland County, North Carolina. Know where that's at. Hawaii. Curtistown, Hawaii.
Huh.
Central Indiana. Auburn, Kentucky. Very nice. Tennessee. Florida, Texas. Another one from Florida. Sneedsville, Tennessee. South Carolina. Indiana. Tri-Cities. We were just over there.
We were in Johnson City and Bristol on Friday.
Yes.
So yeah. So a lot of folks joining from a lot of different places. That's pretty cool, especially to have somebody from New Zealand and Australia.
Las Vegas.
That really just blows my mind to think about. Someone in New Zealand and Australia is watching us right now, and we're sitting here in the mountains of North Carolina. So very interesting. Christina Rust, $10 super chat. Christina, thank you. Appreciate that. Again, this is not, well, I guess it is now. This is not a paid endorsement. Go over and watch their channel. It is really, really cool what they do. It's just a lot of fun to watch.
We've got this old Ford sitting over here, and we'll go in and watch a video, and then he'll come out and
tinker with
it and do exactly what they did. And
heck,
amazingly enough, it works.
It works. I had it running one afternoon. It doesn't run very good, but it runs. But anyway, so thank you for the super chat. We really do appreciate that.
Somebody's watching live from the fire department. All right. Boonville.
Close here, yep.
Boonville in a while. New Mexico.
Why are we making, so Tony asked, why are we making so much chicken stew? We have not publicized this very much on YouTube. We do have it over on our Facebook page. If you're not following us over there, go over there and follow us on our Facebook page. Next Saturday, November the 12th, we're going to be doing a customer appreciation fall gathering here at the farm, and we're going to be doing a couple of things. We're going to be making apple butter, big copper pot, open fire, stirring that thing all day like your grandma used to do. So we're going to be making apple butter. We bought a cider press. That's why we were over in Johnson City over the weekend, on Friday. I bought a cider mill, so we're going to be making some apple cider. You may not know it, but we live close to the Brushy Mountains of North Carolina, which is a really, really big apple production area for the state. So we've got access to a bunch of apples, and we've got some apples coming for cider and for apple butter. So we're excited about that. We're going to do a big pot of pinto beans, big cast iron pot over an open fire. And then you were doing
The start of the chicken stew.
the start of, yeah.
So there's 6 chickens so far. I may do 2 more. I'm not decided. But I've got 6 chickens worth of meat. I've got my stock. It's simmering right now. I'll probably let that go all night. And then we'll have everything refrigerated this week, waiting for Saturday. So I have about a 12-gallon pot for chicken stew.
So the person watching from the fire department is Newman.
Newman. Hey,
Newman.
Newman.
Hey, Newman. Newman's been on a couple of videos. Newman works part-time for us. He comes up, and he's a great worker. He's a great guy. So Newman's watching at the fire department. And then David, our neighbor, just basically across the road, David's watching. So, hey, David, appreciate you joining us tonight, too. And then also for the fall festival next Saturday, we'll have cornhole boards, horseshoes, walking tour of the farm, so folks can see the animals. And right now we've got a few meat birds. We got some turkeys, cows, pigs, egg layers. We got the raken barn going. We got the rabbits up there. So we've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things for folks to see. So if you are in the general area or would like to join us, we would love to have you. Floating, come and go as you please all day long. We'll have a lot of food. No set meal times. We're going to put the food out, and it's good till it runs out. And also, hated to do this, but we bought 80 store-bought hot dogs for the kids and that kind of thing.
Our processor's not doing hot dogs right now.
Yes, we would have done.
Have homemade.
Yeah, we would have
dogs.
done our hot dogs. So, yeah, if you're close and can, we'd love to have you. Love to meet you. We've gotten a lot of response so far, and are really excited about folks coming.
Are you in the EMT or fire department for your
I think they was
job?
So if you're asking me,
I think so.
yeah. So yeah, I'm a paramedic. This year actually was my 30th anniversary. My 30th anniversary, October the 1st. I took my first full-time job in EMS. So I've been a paramedic for 28 years, nurse for 22. Still am in the healthcare industry, but I work in state government now. But I'm still in the EMS world, but doing something a little different. Don't actually see patients anymore. Hey, got the girlfriend watching now. Jennifer said hey. Hey to Jennifer. Thank you for joining. A couple other things that I just want to touch base on tonight. The raken barn. So we've got that up and going. Got the rabbits in, got the chickens in, and I've gotten a lot of feedback, not of all which was positive, on those rabbits in terms of them being in cages, not having. Some folks were calling it a landing board or a resting board, and not having them out on pasture and some of those kinds of things. So there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, this is just a small breeding group. All of the grow outs do go out on pasture. They go into some small rabbit tractors. They're like the chickens. They're moved every day, fed and watered, and they are out on pasture. They're grass-fed rabbits. If we were to put the females together in one of those tractors, female rabbits have a tendency to fight among themselves, and there will be one rabbit that will come out as the dominant female, and she will basically sterilize the rest of them. And so to prevent that fighting from going on, that's why they're sequestered in their individual cages. We have talked to a lot of folks about the resting boards and those rabbits being on wire. Everybody that we've talked to that has rabbits has told us that it's not a big deal, that those rabbits are fine. Now we've given them some branches from some trees, some pear trees to chew on. That helps with their oral health and with their teeth. So while, it's not, I agree, it's probably not ideal, but for us to be able to produce rabbit at a rate that we're going to need to produce rabbit next year, or we hope we're going to need to produce next year, this is the setup that we've got.
And it's really just for the winter too.
It
you know.
is, yeah.
We may convert one of our Siskovich tractors into a rabbit tractor and keep the females in one and the males in one.
Keep those females in
And
individual
we'll
compartments.
keep them in individual compartments, but they will be out on grass. That's the plan.
Yeah.
But this is just for wintertime housing.
So, you know, that's, again, we've gotten some pretty negative feedback on that, and we can't be 100% perfect. There's no way that we're ever going to achieve that 100% mimic of what goes on in nature, but, you know, we're trying. We're doing the best that we can. I've gone into barns where folks have got rabbits that's dark, very little sunlight, no fresh air, that stink to high heaven. Those rabbits are crammed in there in a really, really tight environment. Messing, you know, they're in these cages that have got some of these resting boards and some of that kind of thing, and those animals are living in squalor. They're sitting in their own manure all day long, and we are not going to do that. I will get rid of rabbits before we do that. So, again, you know, we're not 100% perfect, but I think we're doing it better than most would, and again, it's learning for. I mean, we just have started. We got rabbits
just got
when?
'em.
When do we get them?
In May or June.
Yeah, it was late spring, early summer. So, you know, we're just kind of learning them and getting started with them, and we like the rabbits. They're a lot of fun. We've sold quite a bit of live animals. Folks have bought some live animals for breeding, and some folks have bought some animals for food. So, and we've eaten a couple of them.
Yeah, and we've had really good luck with our first round of breeding. Out of those 4 does, we had 35 kits, and we came out with 30. So, and the reason we lost 3 of them was because we had a black snake get into one of the nests.
Yeah. So I don't know what we went out to check them, and Sandra just looked in one, and she stuck her head in and came back. Oh God! I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "There's a black snake in there."
It had gotten 3 of them.
Yeah. So we pulled the black snake out and held him up, and you could. He was very distinguishable that he had eaten 3 bunnies. So 3 little bumps on him there.
It
so
was awful.
It was terrible. But the black snake was relocated to be with Jesus, and that was the end of that. So anyway, so that's kind of the deal with the raken barn and the rabbits and what's going on with them. Hope to do some more videos. I'm going to have to add some wood chips. Where we were a little thin on that front side, and where those chickens are really scratching around, they're digging some holes. And so I think we need to add some chips. Not going to be a big deal, but I think that is something that we're going to have to do. Let's see, what else we got on comments here? Scroll back down there and see if there's anything anybody's asking specific.
How's the breeding with the sows going?
Breeding with the sows. So we did AI one of the sows about a month and a half ago. We have elected not to try to AI or breed anything until after
Right at Christmas.
right around Christmas, because y'all have seen some of the challenges that we've been faced with just in terms of farrowing those piglets out on pasture to begin with. I'm not going to fight the weather and compound that problem anymore. So we're going to try to breed those animals so that whenever they start farrowing, we're into spring and we're kind of out of, we can get a snow here in March. Regularly we get a snow here in March, but try to get out of that nastiest weather.
Yeah. Now we do have a loading barn that we use to load pigs. That we actually have 2 sows that are going to be farrowing probably in the next couple of weeks. They were accidents, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to have some piglets here in a few weeks. So they're going to be going into our old cattle barn.
El Hornack is joining us from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for joining us. Bunnies love apple branches. Yeah. So you were reading apple, pear,
some kiln dried stuff. I believe it was pine.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I don't remember.
we have a couple of pear trees here, so we just throw some pear branches in, and they really like the leaves too. So They're liking the pear branches.
Tim says he started his rabbits 50 years ago, and we're doing great. So
Okay.
if you got somebody that's been doing rabbit for 50 years and they
We're
say you're
doing
doing
okay.
okay, I think we're fine. I think we're good. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick, we did start a Patreon a couple of weeks ago. And the reason I've done that, we just get so many questions and comments and emails and phone calls and text messages that it is really becoming difficult to determine the best way to go about answering those. I'll get a text, I'm out in the field and I get an email and I'm like, gosh, I need to answer that. Somebody's asking me a question. And so I go through this mental calculus sometimes of who do I need to answer, who can I put off, and then sometimes I put them off and I don't get them answered, and it's just kind of it's a bit stressful. So started the Patreon, no pressure at all, but if you are interested in joining us over there, we would appreciate it. We're giving top billing to folks that are over there when they have questions and trying to answer those as quickly and immediately as we possibly can. So that's the reason for that. A couple other perks. I'm posting videos over there early before they go live on YouTube, so you can watch them early without interruption from the ads. And then also we've got a private Facebook group. We'll send you an invite to the private Facebook group. And I'm going to be real active over there. I've got JW over there. I've got Jamie Miles. He's going to be helping us out with it a little bit. Saunders over there. So you're going to have access to, a handful of folks that are doing this and can answer your questions. So again, if you feel inclined, we would appreciate it. If not, totally understand. Keep sending those emails and texts and those kinds of things. Can't promise you I'll answer them, but if you're over there, I promise I will. We'll do the best that we can. So that's just all I'll say about that. What else we got there?
What breed of pigs do we raise?
Yeah, you can answer that one.
We raise a Berkshire Duroc cross, and that's what we try to do anyway.
And tell them why.
Well, we like the marbling that the Berkshire gives to the meat, and in the Duroc, we like the length of the loin and also the growth rate. That's why we use that cross.
Got a super chat from Crooked Fence Ranch. At what age are you taking your steers in, and what kind of weights are you able to get off just grass? So we are taking these animals. They are somewhere between 18 and 24 months old. Earlier in the season, we were achieving standing weights of around 900 pounds. Now that we've had those animals here on grass since when they came in April?
May.
They came in May. We've had them here since May. We're at about 1,000 pounds now. So we've seen these animals really start packing on some weight after it started cooling off from the summer, and after that fly pressure went away. We're at about 1,000 pounds now. When we buy those animals, we're buying them from another farm, and they have been receiving grain at that other farm. We bring them here, and they're here for a minimum of 90 days before they're processed. We want to make sure that we give them as much time to get that grain out of their system as they possibly can. And also, it takes about 30 days once you take a cow off of grain for that rumen to kind of reset and get the acidity back right and get that animal back used to just being on 100% grass. So it takes 30 days, and typically in that first 30 days, you may even lose a little bit of weight. So that's not uncommon. So again, we're somewhere between the 18 and 24 month range, and we're bumping, early on we were at 900, now we're up closer to 1,000, maybe, 1,050. So that's kind of been the process, and that's how it's worked so far. So hope that answers your question. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. And if you need to follow up, just leave us a comment down below, and I'll be glad to follow that up on it.
Are you going to buy cows to breed or just buy calves?
So that's another thing that we've been running through our brain. How do we want to manage that? Plan for next year is to buy more cows, buy more feeders, and raise them out. We are seriously contemplating buying heifers instead of steers next year. My feed guy, Mike Harmon, gave me some pretty sage advice. He was up here one day and we were talking, and he said, I like heifers. Let me tell you why I like heifers. And once he talked about it, it made all kinds of sense. He said, if you buy a steer, there's one thing you can do with that steer, and one thing only. and that's process it. If you buy a heifer, you've got multiple opportunities to do something with that animal besides process it. He said, number one, yeah, you can raise it out, finish it out, process it. Number two, you get in a tight spot, you need to, you can breed that animal. Number three, there may be folks that are looking for replacement heifers. So now you've got another market. So that made all kinds of sense to me, thinking that maybe in the spring we may be buying some heifers in addition to some more steers. I know the heifers are going to grow out a little bit slower than the steers are. I get that. But heifers are, I looked the other day, heifers were running a little cheaper. So that, that's another thing that kind of goes into the.
Well, and they should have a little more fat on them too.
They should, yeah. I mean,
And that makes
a huge difference.
Makes for a better steak.
Makes a huge difference. So that's kind of the plan for next year on what we're going to do with the cows. 334 outdoors. Could you turn the camera phone sideways? It's hard to watch. I am so sorry. I have tried, and it will not let me. It says that my rotation is locked. I don't know how to fix that, so I apologize. Before the next live stream, we will get that. We'll get that figured out. Does the missus ever give out her recipes?
Yeah, I could. I've never really had anybody ask. Yeah.
So that is not the only reason. That's a big reason why I married her. She is one hell of a cook. I mean, I should weigh 400 pounds. Ain't no doubt about it. I should weigh 400 pounds. Crooked fence, we're trying to move to straight grass. Is why I just want to be ready if there's a grass. You will notice a change. Those animals are not going to put on as much weight as fast, but I think you'll get a better product. We get a ton of positive feedback. I've not had a bit of negative feedback from any grass-fed, grass-finished product that we've sold from anybody. There was one lady that miscooked a cube steak. She tried to cook a cube steak medium rare. You can't do that with a cube steak, can you?
No.
No.
You can, but
it's not
really
going to be good.
shouldn't.
It's not going to be good. So, yeah, I think you'll see they won't gain as fast, but you're going to have a better product and cheaper feed. You don't have to buy feed. They just go out there and get it themselves. That's another reason why we do it. So that's kind of the story on the cows. A couple other things. Our farmers markets are slowing down. We've got a couple of holiday markets coming up, so we're kind of getting into the winter season, that off season. We see things kind of slowing down, and we're seeing things slow down here on the farm. We don't feel like we're as rushed. We don't feel like we're as busy as we were. I mean, yeah, we've still got stuff going on, and there's things happening all the time, but does it feel like it to you?
Yeah, well, we're not putting out the fire of the day
Yeah, very true.
anymore, seems like, or right now. It's going to be busy this week, getting ready for the party. But things are really starting to slow down a little. And it's a welcome change. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Bill Mapes is joining us from Iowa. Shouting at clouds, have you a regenerative nitrogen video so people don't get scared doing corn crop? I have not. No, I've not done a regen nitrogen video. Black soldier fly larva, I have thought about that. That's another thing that I just don't have a whole lot of time to work with. So, yeah, that's just one of those things. Next video, turn the camera back and again, I am so sorry about the camera. I monkeyed with that thing and could not figure out how to get it on the landscape view, so I certainly apologize for that. The other thing, hold my microphone for me. You're not going to break it.
And good day from an Australian that got lost in Pennsylvania. That's interesting.
Did you go through the Amish country? Those are great folks. So a couple weeks ago, I done a video on a heated vest that a company by the name of Venustus had sent us, and I made a comment that they had sent us the wrong thing. excuse me, there was a little bit of miscommunication. We had asked for, they had told us we could pick one product to try out, and we had picked out a hoodie, and then there was some miscommunication. They sent us the vest instead. No big deal. But now they sent us the hoodie. So here's the hoodie. And this was for Sandra. This was primarily for Sandra. I mean, that was why we got this, because of her freezer work. And I'm going to let her tell you about this thing because I had to wrestle her to get it off over tonight. So I'll let her tell you about her hoodie.
So he's opening it up here, and you can see where the battery goes.
The battery goes in there.
It goes inside the pocket, and then
Get
it's
a
got
battery. Well, yeah, let me
it's
grab a
fine.
battery. Okay.
It's got heated panels in the back of it, and the way you turn it on is there's a little button right here, and you hold it for about 3 seconds, and it'll turn red, and that turns it on high, and it takes it a couple 3 minutes to heat up. And so what I usually do is I'll just wear a short sleeve shirt, put that jacket on, and then something kind of light over top of it, and go into the freezer. And I've spent up to an hour and a half in that freezer with that jacket on, and when I came out, my back was sweating. So it works very well. I really like it.
There, so I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the button lights up. So, but Venustus has got, again, they sent us this to try out. They've got quite a few products on Amazon. There's a link in the description for this video down below to the Venustus website and also to their page over on Amazon. And if you go to their website, we've got a coupon code. So if you're interested in buying a sweatshirt or a hoodie or a vest or some blankets, or I think they might have had some socks.
They got some gloves.
They had gloves, yeah. So go over and check those out. As winter time is coming, that is certainly something that you might want to think about. I'm glad I got my vest back.
But I really like my jacket.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Hey, that freezer, that thing, what is that? Is it like 1 below or 2 below?
Right at it, yeah.
Yeah, so it stays pretty cold in there. So, all right, let's check the comments here. Yeah, Sandra needs to do a cookbook. You do need to do a cookbook.
That's the problem. It's never the same thing twice.
Yeah, Jordan Homestead says, here in Hawaii, cattle are raised on grass and then shipped out to be finished on grain. That happens a lot here in the States, too. A lot of guys are raising cattle on grass, and then they'll send them to a feedlot in Oklahoma or Iowa or Texas or somewhere, and they'll finish them out on grain out there and pack a bunch of weight on them right at the very end. So that's interesting. Jonathan Holloway from Boomer. Hey, Jonathan, I think, Jonathan, you're coming next Friday to help us with some turkeys, maybe?
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Be glad to have you up. We can talk about some farming stuff like you'd asked. Be glad to do that. Looking forward to it. Big C Johnson, Chuck and Son, enjoy your channel. How many steers do you have left? Do you sell them on the hood? If I could get them on the hood of the truck, I would. I'm selling them in a hurry. No, on the hoof. Yeah, I've got 11 left. Yeah, I will sell an animal on the hoof. If you're interested in something, you're close. Give me a call, shoot me an email, and we'll get some prices and stuff for you. Tango iPhone, swipe down and look for padlock with circle around it. Okay, I'll play your game.
Oh, here we go.
Nope, same thing.
Well, we'll
We'll-
just have to figure it
We'll
out.
do better next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do better next time. Sorry, that didn't. Yeah,
That didn't work at
that
all.
didn't work. Appreciate the try. Maybe better luck next time. Okay. Working on a couple of the videos right now. Got some stuff coming, so be on the lookout. And if y'all like the, if you like the live stream, we'll try to do some more of those again. I know it's been well over a year since we done a Sunday evening live stream. We used to do those pretty regular, and we came up here. We just didn't have a good internet signal, and it was just
It seems to be working pretty good
seems
now.
to be working pretty good. How's the those of you that are still on? How's the quality on your end? Tony asks, is it hard butchering the rabbits? No, not at all. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Not so, I don't know if that's something we'd do a video on. I think YouTube looks down on that kind of.
If you've ever skinned a squirrel, it's a whole lot like that.
Yeah. Yep. The farmer is in Raleigh. Hal and Harry says we're good. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. Christina says looks good on her end. Awesome. Good deal. Anything else you want to talk about?
No. Oh, the butchering videos.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody was asking me when are we going to be doing the next butchering video. I said I'm waiting on my butcher.
Yeah. So we got to get through this week and get this party over with, and I'm hoping that early next week we'll get back to that.
Yeah, so if you've not seen it, we done a video on how to butcher your own pig. Basically, we took 2 pigs to the slaughterhouse, had them scalded, scraped, eviscerated, and then just brought the halves back. Just the animal was in half. And so Sandra started a series on how to take that side of a pig and break it down and turn it into pork chops and ribs and
Yep.
whatever. Now, we got a cow coming. You going to do the same thing?
Yeah, we got a cow coming back from the butcher this week as well. And it's already quartered, so we'll be doing that as well, showing you how to break down a beef.
It says the video is smooth, but the audio is poor. I'd rather have smooth audio than high quality video. Understood. We'll work on that. The farmer liked the butcher video.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had ordered this is an interesting story real quick. We had ordered a bandsaw, a meat bandsaw that sits on the table. And so it came, and there was a piece missing on that thing, and it was the piece that controls the guard that determines how thick you cut a steak or a pork chop. And there was a set screw that goes on the bottom. It's a very simple set screw. So she emailed the company and said, hey, missing this set screw, can you send it to me? And they
Sent me a new saw.
a whole new saw. Said, please dispose of the other one appropriately. We're like, sure.
Okay.
We got you. We'll take care of that. And so, so we ended up with 2 meat bandsaws for the price of one.
That's great.
It was great, yeah. Oh, it was great. Brian Pierce, where did Sandra learn all this?
So I did an internship at a butcher shop up in West Jefferson, North Carolina, with a lady by the name of Ann Rose, and it was Rose Mountain Butcher Shop. And she kind of threw me into the deep end and just told me to do it, and that's how I learned. Just going up there every Friday and working for free just to learn how to butcher pigs and cows.
And that is how all of this got started.
That's how the farm got started. Sure is.
Yep. Sandra came home and said, I think there's something to this locally grown, know your food, know your farmer thing. And I kind of rolled my eyes and I said, yeah, I'm sure there probably is, and kept on doing whatever foolishness I was doing at the time.
Which is about normal.
About normal.
You still do that.
I still don't pay attention most days. And so a few weeks later, we watched a movie. I think it was on Netflix or I forget. We watched a movie. It was called Food Inc. And that absolutely opened my eyes. If you've not seen Food Inc., you need to go watch that movie. That was the first introduction that we had to, now the dogs are getting stirred up. That was the first introduction that we had to Joel Salatin, and I knew right away that, there was something to this. Even if it wasn't, growing in popularity from a business perspective, it was the right thing to do. And so that was how we decided, hey, about that time I had taken another job. We were going to have to move. And so, man, they're barking. So we bought a farm, and that first year we had, or the first group of animals was, what, about 40 chickens?
Yeah.
About 40 chickens and 6 pigs, and it has grown into this now. So it's really blossomed and has become something that I never dreamed that it would get to the point that it has. We've been extremely blessed in terms of being able to buy a bigger farm and expand our operation and just build a good customer base. And I mean, it's a great lifestyle.
Yeah.
I love it. It's hard. It's not easy, but it's a good lifestyle. That's what Stony Brook farmer said. He said he feeds his animals only grass when he doesn't get them up to weight with grains. Christopher Mull. Hey, Chris. Hey, man. Good to appreciate you joining us. Love seeing you guys. Look forward to seeing you all soon. Yeah, you need to come up and see us. I am putting your tripod to work next weekend with a
Yes,
pot of
we
beans.
are.
So,
I expect y'all to be here.
yeah. So Christopher Mullen, he and his wife Chantal, they lived. I guess they're about an hour from us now. They used to live real close to us at the other farm. Super family. They're doing things right. Holistic garden, holistic animals, regenerative agriculture practices. And Chris is a wonderful blacksmith. He built this big this big metal tripod that you put over a fire with some hooks to hang pots and that kind of thing. So just super talented guy. 334 Outdoors butchering my last batch of chickens for the year on Friday. How do y'all decide how late in the year y'all run birds? Our goal, except for Thanksgiving turkeys, our goal is to have all of the poultry off of the pasture by October the 1st. And we were pretty daggone close
We
this
were
year.
real close this year.
Yeah.
Until we had a young man and his wife come by and ask for a live rooster.
Yeah. Tell them the live rooster story.
So he didn't want a live rooster. He wanted a dead rooster, but they took it home and cleaned it and processed it. But down in Greensboro at the other farm, we had a couple of families that would come out once a week and buy 3 or 4 what they called country rooster or country chicken.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a colored rooster that looks more like a farm chicken. You know, something that you would walk out into your laying coop and grab it up and take it inside and cook it. And that's what they want. And so,
And if y'all don't know, roosters, even egg breed roosters, they're not very meaty.
Not
I mean,
at
they're
all.
not. They're very bony. They're
yeah,
not.
not
They're
at
not
all.
very good meat chickens.
But the hatcheries do sell roosters that are, I won't say dual purpose. They look like a farm rooster, but they have a little more meat on them. And so when this young man and his wife showed up a few weeks ago wanting some of those, I ordered 50 of them. So and JW hates me now.
So we got these chickens, and they are in a tractor. And what we'll do is we'll let them out. They'll just day range.
Yeah, they will.
They're not going to be managed. They're not going to be intensively managed like our normal meat chickens are. But to your question, the goal being, you know, we start meat chickens typically in February, and we want to be done in October for a couple reasons. Number one, the soil is starting to go to sleep in the fall, and it's not going to metabolize the nitrogen as well as it does in the spring and summer. And number two, we're sick of chickens. We're just so tired. We're
Yeah.
tired of messing with chickens. By October, we're just glad to be done with them. Now, we do have the Thanksgiving turkeys, and we wrap them up typically, you know, that week before Thanksgiving. But yeah, we don't. And a lot of it's temperature.
We've done it in the past. We've had meat chickens out on pasture on November the 1st, and they still weren't ready, but we had to go ahead and process them because they were using all of their energy to stay warm. They weren't growing. They weren't putting on weight at all. So it's just, unless you can keep them in a more controlled environment over the winter, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, you just feed and feed and feed, and they just don't put on a whole lot of weight. So, anyway, so a couple other things that we're kind of thinking about and batting around for maybe next year. We're trying to develop some opportunities for some on-farm stays, either in a a tiny house or some campsites. So again, that very conceptual right now. Some stuff that we're thinking about. We're starting to talk about our courses and our classes next year. We have had just phenomenal response to folks that want to come out to the farm and learn. And in the past, we've done a number of poultry classes that are always, we get real good reception out of those. Folks enjoy coming out. We try to be hands-on, and that's our goal. I wish we had had somebody that would have done a class like we done a class before we started chickens, to have that hands-on opportunity. The pig class last year, outstanding response to that. We had Troy McClung from Red Tool House, and if you guys aren't watching Troy and aren't subscribed to him, go watch Troy. Subscribe to Red Tool House. He's the guy that saved me on my first batch of pigs.
Yeah, he's taught us a lot.
Yep. And so Troy came down, was a guest instructor for our pig class last year, so we'll probably do that again. He expressed an interest in coming back and being with us, so that was a lot of fun. And we're starting to bat around, excuse me, and think about what are some more comprehensive opportunities where we can build in maybe 4 or 5 days of some pig work, some chicken work, some beef work, and make kind of a regenerative agricultural experience for more than just a weekend. So again, all very, very conceptual right now, but just some things that we're thinking about, trying to, there's a hunger. It seems to me there's a hunger out there for this information. And I tell folks, you can watch all the YouTube videos you want to watch. You can read all the books you want to read. But until you're on a farm where those animals are and you've got your hands on it, that's when the learning starts. And I think that lots of folks are surprised. It's not as hard as you may think it is. It's a lot of work. It's hard work, but it's not as hard as you may think that it is. That's my opinion. But anyway, so just some things that we're thinking about, some things that are kind of batting around in our pea brains. Couple questions here. 334. Also, I'd either link to the Butcher videos on a side channel. Or, yeah, if we were going to do that, it's probably a good idea. Do them on a side channel or put them over on Patreon, put them behind a paywall or make them private or something. YouTube can get kind of fussy about that. Asking about heat in the summertime. The thing about heat in the summertime with birds, making sure they got plenty of water, making sure that they've got some shade. And one thing that you can do in the summertime is feed those birds in the evening instead of the mornings. When they start to eat, their metabolism really fires up, and those birds, their internal body temperature will fire up. So if you're feeding them in the cooler part of the day, that does seem to help as well. So that makes a little bit of a difference.
And the breed of chicken makes a huge difference.
It does.
In the summertime.
It does make a big difference. So, yeah, a couple things going on there. Honey Acre Farms, how's the rabbitry going? Good. We've had a few folks ask about buying some. We've sold some rabbits, some live animals, and we've sold some animals that folks want us to butcher for them.
And we've had a farmer approach us to help raise rabbits.
Help raise the rabbits for us. So we're, something else that we're thinking about. So excited about that. Yeah, the Rural King heated jacket. They carry Milwaukee, or the one that we were in Bristol, Tennessee, or Virginia. I don't know which side of the line we were on. I guess we were on Virginia.
Yeah.
Bristol, Virginia on Friday, they had the Milwaukee heated clothes, and it looked nice. They didn't have a price on it. I guess they were ashamed to price it. Christina, yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're excited about the opportunities and hoping we can take advantage of that. Dan Romberg, hey y'all, saying hi from Idaho. Fantastic farms in Caldwell. Been watching y'all a while now. Just joined your Patreon. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining the Patreon. Dwayne Jones, thank you for the homesteading content. Back to Dan. We're year 2 here in Idaho, moved out of California. God bless you. Congratulations. And still getting started. Small bean, bees, sheep, chickens, and alfalfa. Love the channel and your info. Listen, Dan, this thing is going to grow faster than you think. Just 5 very short years ago, we started out with 40 chickens and 6 pigs. This year we processed how many chickens?
About 1,700.
About 1,700 chickens. How many pigs?
About 70,
About 70 pigs, and we're at how many cows for the year?
10 so far.
10 so far. And
And
that,
we've got 4 more to go.
and 4 more, yeah, 4 more to go. That's starting from 0 in 5 years. It will grow. There's the demand is there. Hang in there. The advice that I would give you is, get through today so you can get to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Every day, just get through today. That may sound simplistic, but there are lots of days I just pray to the good Lord above, get me through this, get me through today, and live to fight another day. Makes all the difference in the world. Shouting at clouds with the price of fertilizer. People are having the most trouble with larger corn crops. Agree. We're feeling that in terms of the feed that we buy for the pigs and the chickens, primarily the chickens. But for us, fertilizer prices, I don't buy fertilizer. I've not bought a single bag of chemical fertilizer since we started. I have never bought any fertilizer and never will. So that's, but fertilizer prices are really hurting those guys that are in
We're building
big
our
ag.
fertilizer out here in the raken barn right now.
Yeah, yeah. We're building about 18 inches of fertilizer back there in that barn. Alberto D, hello from Los Angeles. Hey, thank you for joining us in LA. Appreciate that. Tony says, I want to thank you for the videos. It takes me back to when I was growing up on a farm as a kid. Also pray for you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We appreciate the prayers more than anything, and we need prayer. We need prayers more than anything. We say the good Lord looks out for drunkards, fools, and crazy farmers, and we've been blessed. So that just kind of tells you where we're at. Mobile, Alabama. Appreciate you from joining us in Mobile. Dave Smith is in Arizona. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you joining us from out there. So, a lot of good folks tonight. This is great. This is a lot of fun. We need to do this more often. If I can figure that camera out.
Yeah, like every Sunday.
Every Sunday. I don't know about that. Yeah, Dan. One day at a time. That's exactly right. Just one day at a time. Sometimes it's one chore at a time. I've had days where the only thing I was focused on was the chore that was in front of me. I had to get that done, and then I would go to the next thing, because sometimes it comes at you like a fire hose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You got pigs out, you got chickens out, you got cows that need to be moved, all at the same time, and it's a triage. What is the biggest, ugliest, meanest, nastiest thing that's going to hurt me the worst if I don't fix it right now? And that's what you focus on. That's what you jump in on and get done. And so that's how some days that's how we roll. Will you be finishing the home pig processing video? Yes, we will. We just talked about that. I got to get my butcher here on that. We've got a lot of stuff coming up this week, getting ready for the event next weekend. Once we get that done, we hope to be able to get back on that. Absolutely. So, all right. With your camera problem, when you get ready to start your video, turn the camera to the side, then start your video. That makes sense. I think I had it. I think I was holding it in my hand, clicked go live, and that's how it started. So that makes all kinds of sense, Lynn. Thank you. I will do that. And y'all can't see it, but we've got 2 lights here that, we're trying to provide a little better light. I've turned them off. It's very, very dark. And then I've got a whiteboard behind the camera back there that's got my notes on it, stuff that I want to talk about. So we're kind of cramped in this big 40 by 60 shop, aren't we? 70 acres. Got to step over something. Get around it. Gosh almighty. So, but anyway, folks, I think that's going to do it. That's an hour in. For those of you that joined us, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video.